thinking. I need to find a way. Find a way. Find a way. Find a way out. Find a way out.
Hey guys, this is Dhruv Pasari.
And this is Sahil Deshpande from the Astronomy Club, and along with Zenevia, we present before you one of the most renowned personality in the global space sector and a Padma Shri recipient, Dr. Mylswamy Annadurai, famously known as the Moon Man of India.
As the former director of ISRO's Satellite Center and the current vice president of Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, he has maneuvered some of the most complex interplanetary missions and served as director and the current vice president of Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology and the Mars Orbital Mission, and has had significant influence on Srimati Muthaiya Vanitha, the project director of Chandrayaan II. Now, if we go about listing his achievements, I don't think we are gonna able to hear him out. So why don't we get into the interaction? So, sir, I would like to ask you this question, which I had in my mind for a while now, that in the movie Mangalyaan, how much of the depiction was accurate, especially the scene where Akshay Kumar calls out Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam to keep the Mars orbital mission ongoing?
Okay, I think it's a fantasy. The core being, yes, we have done it at the first attempt, the shoestring budget with the limitations. Beyond all these things, the India's ingenious mind is a part and parcel of the historical success. The bottom of the nucleus is correct, but periphery, look at that, it is there. But to be frank, because you know that Dr. Kalam was there just a day before where our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji came. One day prior, he was there at the control center with me for nearly 6 hours. So that shows during the launch of Mangal, actually, then former President Dr. Kalam and the mentor of mine, he was almost physically present there. Just it is only one day before, but he told after listening all the things, he took nearly 5 to 6 hours of review. What is our that is just for acquiring the historical Mars orbit next day. He was there with us. Even the evening tiffin also we all took together. So after listening everything, actually he told his own way. Yes, I think this mission will be succeed. What is next? Tellingly that he went. So that shows Kalam's connection with the Mangal, not from heaven. It is very well basically from with near our heart. So otherwise the nucleus is there because the director spent good amount of time, and the director's sister was one of my colleague back in Satellite Center. That's why you can see the girl's presence is relatively better compared to
Women presentation is heavy.
So that way, this has its own reality, but of course it's on fantasy, so that can reach the people. Because otherwise, there were two such movies made. Chandrayaan I itself was a feature movie was there, but none of you are aware even that. Similarly, Mission Mars also there was a movie before Akshay Kumar's Mangal, but none of them, though we were all there, part of this, even by name itself. Okay, not even like telling some other way. It is by name itself. My name was there, my son's name, wife, and even Kalam also was there as it is. But those two movies didn't go. But Akshay Kumar made a difference here.
Yeah, the masala in the film industry is very much needed.
Yeah, that needed.
Yeah, I guess I'm a bit disappointed that scene, you didn't actually act out that scene.
Yeah.
Sir, I would like to ask the next question. So, was it your childhood dream to explore the realm of the moon and Mars, or was it something that you fell in love with at a later point in your life?
No, I think if you look at there are many places I told that My childhood was in a very, very humble beginning in a village wherein until my 10th year of age, even my village didn't have a street light. So we have the all the liberties of looking at the clear sky with the stars and moon. And we in our time period we had this something called we all eat together in the moonlight. So with all the fantasy stories, other things to be there. Possibly that could have been a part of thing in our other system. And the first book, first rather weekly, which I read outside the class uh, uh, textbooks, being the Chandamama in Tamil called Abuli Mama. So that is about the moon. So it looks like that somehow or other the connection of the moon was there part of my life. If you
So
look
your
back,
whole life has been influenced by
yeah.
moon. Okay, sir. So, I mean, so would you describe that point where your family is eating together under the moonlight as a point which made you devote your life towards aerospace engineering? Or do you have any other kind of special moment in your life which you could recall, which made you divert towards this specific field?
Okay, that way you look at here, one side basically outside the classroom, looking at the moon, other things. That's one portion of it. But the other thing is concerned. Basically, originally I was aiming to get somewhere in the literature, in Tamil literature, or possibly in English. Actually, my higher studies supposed to have been gone into that line because my father being a teacher and he has more inclination towards the literature. But the when I keep coming up in the classes, the mathematics and science I could score well. Naturally, almost centum I could get all the classes. But whereas in the languages it was not so. So maybe possibly my language teachers are the reason for me to get more towards the science and mathematics. Naturally, once in science and mathematics is there, naturally you are gone towards engineering. And from engineering, instead of going, following in the middle of the crowd, just look at something different. So that way, probably the world connection, which is one side possibly but natural thing. Another side is wherein what classroom has made you to direct you to
Right.
this one way. Yeah. Otherwise,
We
I
would
would
like to
have
thank your
written.
literature teacher
Yeah. One of my
to
friend
give us
is
this
writing.
jewel.
Yeah. One of my friend is like writing lyrics in the about moon in the movie. Okay, and he's also close to me. So only thing is just now you are looking at the moon. I am also looking at the moon, two different ways.
Right.
Yes, sir. So, sir, how was engineering in your college days? Do you feel like the assistance from your professors and your mentors in your engineering days did it prepare well for your future endeavors, and did it help you streamline your path towards ISRO?
Okay, in a way, yes. In a way, yes means maybe slightly this yes subsequent line, subsequent what I'm talking about will tell. Because they have the freedom of the selecting the subjects, even though they are not well versed. Okay, and that's how because you need a big heart to accept that. And they basically look at here when we started those times, maybe 70s, in late 70s, microprocessors or computers were not very much popular. I think the whole of Tamil Nadu had only IIT Madras had one computer at that time. Okay, we have to go as a educational tool to look at the computer behind the class walls. I think that was the situation there. But in spite of that, looking, the future will be not actually those days. Our electronics and communication, TV and radar were supposed to be electives. You're supposed to go through that. Somehow I felt that is not the way. I told I think we can go for computers, the computational system, and the microprocessors are coming that time. Okay, and these two courses, we thought we should do it, but they told we ourselves were not clear about that what to do. Sir, don't worry about that. We will manage. Okay, this is what we told back in the college, and we have taken the courses. And that is the one basically which helped us to show we were slightly better than the other students. Because from my college when I go, so we had the opportunity of working in a microprocessor even in 70s, and we had the opportunity to work the computational mathematics, things like that, and even doing the projects with the microprocessor. Just not didn't have a textbook. We have the Osborne microprocessor manual. From the manual, we ourselves made the textbook and we made the exams. We ourselves have gone through that. So it's a really that way. I think I doubt even today whether any lecturers, any college allow like that. I think they give the freedom like that, and that freedom only helped us uh, to come up in our days. So that way, I think the people they given freedom, and that helped us.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Freedom in research is very much needed as a student.
Yeah.
Also, sir, like apart from your academics, your ethics and your mannerism, were those shaped by your college towards the field of engineering? Like, have you seen any of your professors' ethics and mannerism, and you felt inspired by them to work on the subject further and come up to this position at which you are?
Yeah, that one, whatever I told is they're ready to listen. Okay, that's the main thing, because and that's the one which made me to cultivate. Anytime, irrespective of your hierarchy, you must be able to listen to them. Then you make the judgment. I think that is the whatever the previous thing I told, that is the one. It is definitely is a part of that. Then beyond that, being engineering students, we should be have a practical oriented. I think that's how our lecturers used to take the classes, take us to as many the field experiences. Okay, be it in a brick kiln, be it a foundry, be it the soldering system, be it the switching thing, or be it a radio station, be it TV station. I think we have been allowed to do like that, and we have, because those days number of engineering college also being less, and I think they told us to see beyond the classroom, beyond the college laboratories, and like what doctors will see the patients, and we should see as many as the engineering products or engineering works going on, and try to get a feel about the working environment. I think this is how I think our people have nurtured. So one thing is trying to listen to the people, so that they listen to us, so we also try to listen. That I think that's the thing. A second thing is, being an engineering student, you should have more practical oriented, and that way I think every year, even those days, I think we have this sort of tech fests in some form or other, where we are supposed to see our originality. I think they encouraged it in a lot. So I think this competition definitely helped in a big way, rather than in the blackboard and versus a classroom, and coaching us for the exam. Beyond that, I think they made us to be a full-fledged engineer trying to look for a new thing, trying to look for get along with the system, trying to understand the others. I think these are all things. I think they they set an example which we followed. So that I think has helped us.
Right, sir.
Okay, sir. So, as you mentioned that your professors and your mentors gave you the freedom of not just referring to the textbook knowledge, but also having have your own imagination to work out what you would like to do in and just experiment, just
Yeah.
just do experiments to just build anything, as you said, with your computers. So, what do you think in today's education system is necessary to better prepare students in their future life, in the race that, or the competition that we see in the industries during job applications or job interviews?
Okay. That way you ask me compared to what we were in 70s, nearly look at the 30, 40 years back versus now. I think there's a big change. Okay. So it's just emulating what we have done today may not be adequate enough. Okay. And that's what I used to tell my son. Today, even if I go and complete ISRO exam, I have my own doubt whether I will get through that exam. Okay, that is a level of competition. That is a level of expectation. That is a level of the changes happened there. So the basic message here it talks about is uh, uh, during engineering college, be it any course, and it is not making you to be an engineer just with immediately coming out of the college. That alone is not enough. And how you can be a lifelong, a relevant the field in which you are going to work, because every 5 years, 6 years, the things are keep changing, and unless otherwise you change yourself, you adapt to that, your relevance in that field will be out. Okay, you no longer the job whatever you have done in network engineer. I doubt what will happen today. I know that yeah, the best network engineer. They have looking for the things because the cloud has come. Cloud makes the things totally different, and the language we studied Fortran language and the Pascal, they are not no longer existing. C, C++, Java, and even beyond now, even the language may not be required. The code will come on its own. So what you need is only algorithm. So this calls for you have to adapt yourself and go. So the colleges today also teach how to learn rather than what to learn. Okay, there's a big difference. You would have learned, you accumulated knowledge about one particular field. That field itself may not be existing 5 years from now. So your relevance to you make yourself relevant. You must be able to learn, how to do. I think that's more important than what to learn. I think my feeling is I will go. Our time it was what? That's what I told. Computer or TV or radar is no longer required. We should learn computers. We should learn microprocessor. What? But today I feel that what may not have meaning. How has meaning. Okay. The microprocessor of what I read has no meaning today. So even I myself graduated in the course of the time, because you'll be surprised to see my college days. Not even a single subject I studied about satellite. Not even a single subject. Okay, and today you know in Indian satellite history, somebody writes a book. I doubt whether anybody can discount my contribution into that. Okay, it is not what I studied matter. It is how I made myself matters. So putting my experience together, today I think the classrooms have to, rather campuses have to cultivate how to rather than what to learn.
Right. So
Yes.
adapting to our circumstances is very important
Correct.
as human beings.
Yeah.
Sir, so at first day of your job at ISRO, how did you adapt to those circumstances? Was it all new to you, or did you feel like I'm here to do my job and I'll do it the best way I can?
Yeah, I think it's definitely when I joined ISRO, I had a dream of something you should do. But when I landed ISRO of that time, it was not as I dreamt. First and foremost, the infrastructure itself very small, very humble. Between two industrial sets, just two industrial sets, small industrial sets. The satellite center was there. But then the satellites also were made outside and launched outside, and we are basically supposed to operate the satellites as an operators. So somehow I felt there is disjoint of what I was looking for, what I have been assigned. So then I made a proposal to then Director ISRO Satellite Center. From his position, I retired later. And what we can do, even though the satellites probably we may do sometime later, but why can't we make a software satellite simulator? I think some 2-3 page note I made and given to my section head, which in turn has gone to up to Professor V.R. Rao. And the professor that I gave one Friday evening. Then Monday morning I'm coming. Monday morning, just come back from my section head and my seat. And the proposal is very good. Provided Mr. Annadurai is ready to take the responsibility and do this, whatever he is telling, let him do. So this is, I thought one more, my teacher is there in my ISRO. Okay, that means he he appreciated my idea, not only appreciated idea, and he is challenged me. Actually, that is what basically later only then he challenged me, and whatever support you want to do, but are you ready to do it? Okay, I think that challenge I took it, but of course, that only realized it calls for me really nearly 4 5 years of research. But that made me to understand what is the nitty-gritties of the satellite and how it can be done, because you have to understand the whole functionalities. Then you have to model it in software form, and that you have to execute, and so that when the other ground computers, it look like it's a the satellite in all functionalities and functionality, not graphics pointer. So that made me nothing, and that enabled me this to instead of what to how. Okay, and now how now in Saturday I didn't learn, but now this I learned in the process of that. So then from there there's no looking back. From there there is no looking back. It's happened. So initially I made something which is not correct, but then they told you not correct, but are you ready to make it correct? Okay, that challenge is something very funny. And if such a thing happens, I think today, across India, the very young minds are rebelliously asking questions. I think all these people who are asking questions, you should make them, are you ready to answer for that question? I think that if you do, I think India, with the thousands of ISROs you can make across India.
Right, so be the change you want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir.
So, being a director of the Mars orbiter mission, what was the feeling like when you were posted as the director?
Okay, it's one side, as I told, it's very challenging. You look at that, it's a mission Mangal. Of course, yes, given in the movie, more or less the core remains same. That means we know that one of the project is getting scrapped, and what to do. We are in that condition, and in that condition, though it was the Mangal mission is assigned, instead of that, I think we ourselves taken. I think that is the real crunch. Uh, Taken means from Chandrayaan II, with some reason it calls for reconfiguration. The reconfigured, the once you do reconfigure, that hardware will become useless. So then we thought we will make this as a mission to Mars. I think when we made that attempt, almost the whole ISRO laughed, except the team, Mission Mangal team. Okay, that's why I told the nucleus remains same, but all other masalas okay. But then I think we took it as a challenge because. I told my team, because luckily the same Chandrayaan I team was with me almost, and we told them, I think if we make this mission success, it will be historical in aerospace industry, because nobody who done the mission which supposed to go to the moon was dare enough to put the mission go to the Mars,
Mars.
and nobody even designed the mission was a Mars. Yes, on that day nobody succeeded in first attempt. So under that budget also shoestring budget. So if we make it, I think we will be in history. So I think we should move forward. So that way, this is on our own. We ourselves taken a challenge, and we know if we make a mistake, the whole world will laugh. Okay, including our own the people sitting there. But I think we have done the whole thing done. And today, if you look at the 2,000 rupees note, whenever I take, I think definitely whatever I told the whole team echoes that, and it's really a pleasant feeling. Yes, it's a worth challenge we ourselves taken, and we have gone ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We see in the movies and also in many interviews that it was really a challenge, and globally it was applauded by many other space enthusiasts,
Yeah.
as we see.
Sir, so like soon after that, we had Chandrayaan II mission. And the Chandrayaan II's chairman, Sri Keshavan, calls the events as 15 minutes of terror. How would you describe those feelings? What was going through your mind during that point of time?
Okay, it's more. Basically, of course, it all depends on how you each one perceive. Individuals' perceptions are different. Okay. Nominally, I feel that 15 minutes is the one which, first of all, the word terror itself probably would avoid it. Okay, it comes more like a negative sense. It comes there. Okay, somebody has put that word, but we would avoided that, because that is one of the thing I normally I used to tell. Because this somehow or other, their sentiment or whatever it is, I think we should be as positive as you think. That's what normally I used to think, because you look at here, even Mission Mangal also, we had much more, not 15 minutes terror, it's 20 minutes terror. Okay, we didn't tell it's a terror. Okay, we tell that is an opportunity. After 20 minutes, we are going to see a historical acquisition. This is what we are looking. We are looking for an event. Okay, this is what everybody who runs the Olympic race, he tells the fellow when he's standing before his bullet starts, he thinks he is getting that winning post. Okay, your aim should be like that. That's what normally you do. So actually, we used to think about this 20 minutes of terror. I never told. This is the 20 minutes of the thing which will give you a fruit of all your the 2 years of your toiling. Okay, I was looking for a honey or fruit rather than the terror. So that's what time and again it used to come to me. So I think it's only perception difference. So if I would have been there, I would have told not as a terror, definitely yes, some positive sense here, very very sweet thing waiting for, and probably would have given the sweet also to the India.
Sir, so
Sure, sir.
like if you won't call it terror, but do you have anything like is the Mars orbiter mission? Can you say that it scared you the most from within? That in
Exactly.
those
I
20 minutes
told.
of
Yeah,
watching,
yeah,
like,
exactly. I told you, they basically look at here. Even Mars orbiter mission also, we had a scenario, and that's what I was trying to tell you. So when it travels all the way, when similar scenario, Prime Minister Modi was behind us, and there not even 50 minutes, 20 minutes, our the satellite goes behind the Mars. And the 20 minutes later only, the 20 minutes, the Mars is hiding the satellite. So no communication from there to Earth. And that during 20 minutes, a very, very crucial operation of breaking the speed, the orbital velocity of the Mars takes place automatically. It orients, it just automatically. Unless otherwise that happens properly, 20 minutes later, we would not have acquired the mission. Okay, it's almost similar only. So if 20 minutes if not happened properly, the mission would have lost elsewhere. Like Chandrayaan has hit and lost, similar thing would happen to that. So that scenario we had already seen such scenario, that there are also it's everything going automatic way, but we are all looking for the 20 minutes later. You look for this, here something will come. The whole, including Prime Minister, we are like a mesmerized way. We are trying to look for that minute. Forget about 20 minutes. 20 minutes, Mangalyaan will do its job. Our job is to clap once that comes. The job assigned is look for and clap. Including Prime Minister has been told, you look for, when the signal comes, you clap. Believe me, that's what we have told, and that we have done it. So this terror is not something which I have not seen. But the terror, we never tell it's a terror. It is actually part of the game. Okay.
it led to something beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
So
sir.
because the
We can,
whole every individual looks for that. I think that all those things will enable you to that to happen.
yes, sir. So we can say it was like the icing on the cake when once you saw the signal just come, and
Correct.
then
Yeah. Everybody waiting for that signal. Not everybody, whether waiting, the signal will come or not. That nothing called 50-50. 100% you look for the way signal.
yes, sir.
Then it
So,
happens. Yeah.
so it has been mentioned that the presence of water is important for future missions to the moon, and it will allow astronauts to stay on the lunar surface for more than just a few hours, as we have seen in the past missions. But there haven't been many manned missions to the moon in a long time. Is it the limitation of not being able to sustain on the lunar planet for prolonged times, or is it just not worth it, just going to the moon and coming back?
No, there are two answers for this. One is yes, after seeing the moon is not having water before 2009, before Chandrayaan I launch. Yes, everybody thought there is no point in going. That's why after 70s, not many missions have gone. So, but once 2008 we launched, in 2009 we told within a year from US, once again one more mission, something like Chandrayaan gone, and which confirmed our discovery of water on the moon is correct. And afterwards, you look at here, the lunar explorations have been redefined. And now there's something called back to the moon. That is the mode in which missions are being kind. And now I think the systems are very, very ambitiously placed to go back to the moon with manned missions also, and targeting the polar regions where the presence of water is in a place, and the possible long duration stays also may happen. So the revised missions, that is how. But unfortunately, the long gap of 30 so many years. Now you look at here, after shuttle grounded, even US took more than 10 years to come back their manned mission from US. They relied only on Russia. You know that. That too, thanks to
Yes, sir.
Elon Musk, it has happened there. So now, with Elon Musk in loop, now back to the moon is very, very ambitiously placed. Already, good number of, for example, today, I know whether you are aware, Nokia has been awarded a multi-million-dollar contract to establish a 4G, possibly a 5G network in moon. So that means, you know what does it mean? Okay, once you're talking about the cell network happening in the moon, so that shows how fast people want to go there and how long they want to stay, how meaningful next the back to the moon is, like that. I think that amply answers for that.
Yes, and Elon Musk, along with our Japanese billionaire Yusaku Maezawa, he has planned to launch a lunar tourism program.
Correct.
And he recently, it's called Dream Moon, and he recently made people sign up for it. And I believe 8 people will be going on it.
Yeah.
So, are you enthusiastic about it? Like, as a child, which you saw as dream, it might come true today.
Yeah, of course, we had the initial discussions. I also is a part of that.
Okay.
And yes, I think, but I don't know whether the age point of view that matters or not. But I think reasonably good mission if it is there. I don't want to rule out. Given a chance, definitely I will be the first person to jump. And even if it's a one-way trip, I'm ready to go, like that. I told.
I mean, you are in such love with moon that you just stay in moon forever now.
Yeah.
Right, sir.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
So for our computer science batchmates, here, have you performed integration in machine learning and artificial intelligence in the Mars and Moon missions? And how do you think that will these integrations in the systems will take us forward in our explorations to the Moon or other planets?
Yeah, I think you look at that, whatever we are referring about, the two segments of Chandrayaan 2 and Mars orbiter acquisition. That particular two segments predominantly ran through the spacecraft autonomy, and wherein the systems needs to have intelligent enough to take the decisions in case of any. One is a nominal sequence keep changing, and in case of a non-nominal, reconfigure itself and try to cope up with the environment or any failure in the system. So this is a part and parcel of that portion. Okay, and that means the spacecraft autonomy built in with the required intelligence is a part and parcel of the thing. So especially when you are going for the long duration missions, you cannot have always a ground contact, not possible. So definitely the system has to work in autonomous mode. That definitely takes. And beyond, another thing is now we are having more and more missions. A number of missions are coming, and those missions also relying from ground all the time. Also, two ways not correct. One is your mission is 15 years, 20-year long duration missions also there. It's keeping the same similar type of people ground. It's going to be a very, very not possible thing. And the second thing is even strategically also the system without the ground contact has to sustain for longer time for various reasons. Let us assume our ground control center has been attacked or something is not able to function for some time. It has to be autonomous. So like that, today more and more the satellites, more of interplanetary mission as well as even the earthbound missions also. It has to be more reliable, and it is becoming part and parcel of our various streams, be it in economy, be it communication, be it remote sensing, be it the border security, be it navigation, be it meteorological. I think they have to work. If not working, some missions that cripples the nation. So, if a ground system required to maintain all the satellites is going to be a single point issue. So towards that, definitely autonomy is called upon. So today's work is moving towards making the satellites as autonomous as possible, and towards that, a good number of intelligent systems which learns from there and cope up with it, that is being addressed. And that way, nowadays, I think more and more beyond even our aerospace engineers, the software engineers, with the domain expertise. I think that's also called upon. These two only can make it that. So that I think the requirement is coming more and more. Actually, to be frank, as I told here, to start with, I myself was a software engineer. The software satellite simulator built there. But from there, of course, though I have done ECE, but initial stage when I learned, I think within the satellite center, I started as a software engineer. But from there, I've grown as a domain expert in various fields, and then became specialized, and then into a generalistic, like this happened to that. So that way, I think the software engineer with the inclination to learn on the domain combination and flare into AI is a good prospect in today's satellite technology.
So,
Yes.
so talking about technological advancements, ISRO recently did the quantum communication experiment, the 300 meters. So do you think it has scope in integration with our space technologies so that we can get more secure communication and maybe faster communication?
Yeah, I think it's so. Actually, when I was in ISRO itself, even before the latest thing, you would have seen another Raman Research Institute, one Dr. Urvasi Sinha. Okay, and with her, I think we have done. Actually, she approached, she came with one Canadian Space Agency versus Satellite Center and Raman Research Institute. This combination, actually, overall target is to have the satellite communication. Okay, to have the satellite communication between wherever. Then the satellite communication means basically a long distance communication. The long distance communication through the satellite to enable, and where I think that is the target. That is the target. It is only to 300 meter is only for this point of view, but overall system point of view, systems will be built, will be enabled for the long distance communication. Long distance communication through a satellite is more secured than any other way. So that way, finally, it's going to be like that only.
Right, sir. So like advancement in quantum technology can give us more secure and faster communication.
Exactly.
Right, sir.
So, and what do you think about ISRO and other space organizations doing a collaboration with universities and having these systems or train their students using these systems and possibly having the student minds, their young brains, to actually work out how or solve some problems or come up with new technology. What is your view on this topic?
I think we should encourage that. I think we have done as much as possible, and we started moving. Because this is only a small interplay. Because what is happening is whatever said and done today, the space organizations needs to be guarded as much as possible by various strategic reasons. One thing, but second thing is you have to get the more and more talents also. That way, this another way of getting is the young talents coming. Throwing it open challenge to the student community, yet new ideas will come. So that probably you can nurture subsequently there. So, but you have to play a reasonably well balanced mode. And towards that, we have the programs. We have the various programs, the student selections and students being a part of the not exactly intern, make the project works and doing their thesis works, and the selected students from even school level coming and doing the work. I think very many things are happening, and this is basically to trigger them and get a new idea. And another thing is trying to show them these are all the opportunities available, and you be ready, you get trained, and you try to aspire towards that. So that the continuity is enabled. Because sometime back we discussed about moon mission. They have done in 60s and 70s, US. But now manned mission go back. I think even NASA is struggling to make it there, because there's a gap has come, because the continuity of the people are not there. So that similar things do not happen back to ISRO. So that point of view, definitely we need a good talents, and the talents have been triggered. and they should aspire to come to ISRO. And towards that, definitely a planned activities in various form is happening there, and that includes even getting their new ideas for our new way of working within ISRO.
Okay, sir.
Sir, so like as you mentioned, they should try coming to ISRO. But like nowadays, youngsters, the first thing that comes in their mind in space exploration is NASA. They want to go to NASA. Sir, so like why? What is it like the education which don't tell them that how good our Indian space programs are, or is it like lack of exposure and outreach from ISRO's side that people just look at NASA as something which is great and ISRO as yeah, ho jayega, something like that.
I think possibly you yourself answered when you told ABC. I think we should tell each one of them has its own contribution. Actually, that is one of the reason I also personally encouraged mission like Mangal. Okay, so that you can look at here. Very many of my NASA friends were very much unhappy the way in which NASA depicted in mission Mangal. Then I told them, no, it is required for within Indian context. Okay, because though we are not telling we are better than NASA, but we are also done. We are also done, and there is no reason people go all the way to NASA and do it. Why can't do it back in India so that their motherland also comes? So, for towards that, what ISRO has done needs to be amplified. It has to be done in a perspective. It touches the people's mind, and that way, look at here. Many of the scenes were designed like that. You look at each one of them; they're young. When they are young, how it is there, and that happens. And actually, I myself in Chennai, along with the corporation school students, one exclusive show I taken them and shown to them Mission Mangal. Okay, though it's exaggeration, I think it should reach. It should reach. Yes, there is such ambitious things. We can do it back in India itself. I think towards that we have taken, and now you look at Chandrayaan I, Chandrayaan II, Mission Mangal, and all these things taken. Even the policymakers also understood, and they are also the part of brand ambassadors. I can tell you. I think today's Prime Minister also one of the greatest brand ambassador for ISRO. That's also he every moment I think he appreciates, and of course it's across it happened. Even the Madam Indira Gandhi onwards, Nehru period onwards, the prime ministers used to the directly it's happening. But of late, when all these things are coming, definitely it gives today, and that's why we are telling about. There's no need people going for a tour to NASA. Definitely, you can come to Sriharikota or Bangalore. Now we are opening it out. You know that now gallery is being opened, and there are systematic way people can register and come. So very many things are keep happening nowadays. So we also understood that. So the outreach you have to improve. And now here and there, some movie makers also they are doing it. I think recently also one more movie. My friend Mr. Nabinarayan, his movie also coming with Madhavan in place. Maybe right or wrong, but that comes out in a outreach point of view. I think that's reaching out in a better way.
So, personally, do you think there is a pinnacle in space exploration, or is it a never-ending scene? What is your view on this?
Yeah, I think I wrote somewhere that is when you read more, you will come to know what you read beyond this more you will come to know. That means you explore more, you will come to know what you have not explored more, you will come to know. Okay, so that way, space on its own is keep expanding. So in that space, what we do is a very minuscule, the level, the thing point of view. So that way, the space exploration point of view, I think it's in a human history will not end. It has to go much beyond that. I think it's even beyond our imagination. I feel it is there. I think more and more, if you go, more and more scope it opens it up. That way, this is really a fascinating journey, a fascinating field.
Sir, so like when you're looking at this launches and all the testing and all, so every second must be like something is happening. So you're happy, you're sad, multiple emotions are there.
Yeah.
And like the space industry is not a cheap industry. Like heavy investment are there, and like several of your clients' investments are there on these missions and launches. So how do you cope up with this stress during this missions? Like, I have on my back a pretty big burden.
Yeah, that's I think is that's I think is a really tough situation. But that is the one which I think it's drives you, because it's basically it is like rope walking, tight rope walking. When you are doing, you should not be afraid you will fall, but at the same time, if you make a wrong move, you will fall. Okay, it is a balance. There is a balance. Okay, I don't know whether I'm conveying properly. You should not be afraid of. If you're afraid of, you cannot move forward. You cannot even stand that place. Okay, but still, you should be courage enough. But with the thing, you cannot be carefree. Okay, this is a balance. Like rope walking is a balance. Okay, so that way, you see, you are accountable. It will be in our mind, but you should be courage enough to take a risk. I think how you strike the balance is the one which shows how success you are. I think between these two. Okay, if you are accountable, you don't do, you cannot do much. Okay, and yes, everything is available, you feel carefree, then also create a problem. So you should strike a balance between these two. So that way, it's a really a field of its own worth, I can tell you.
Right, sir.
So my next question is quite personal. So when I was 12 years old, I was part of a satellite club where we launched a small satellite as part of a school project, a joint school project. So we had 20 teams, and we built small cube sized satellites, and then we fitted cameras, we fitted different sensors, humidity, temperature, altitude sensors, and and so and we were supervised by a retired NASA astronaut.
Okay.
So I really I really miss going back to that experience. And so, what would be your advice and guidance to someone like me who has, at a young age, has done something like that, but wants to again start into that satellite building or rocketry field?
Okay, I think now a movement is happening. Now you look at there, the college level, graduate level, some sort of a movement within India, with the connectivity across the globe is happening. The latest, you know that PSLV 51 launch itself, we have the student, of course, two different type of students. With both of them, I have connections. Okay, I know that both the teams were the part. They were in this place before launch, and I think tomorrow I'm going to Bangalore for their success meeting or something like that, to honor them this happening. So here I think the college students themselves are coming out, and that basically they are trying to build the satellites, wherein each satellite can be formed and parcel of the already existing cluster. This is a basically, you look at here further, it can build up a global communication. Okay, but somewhere the target is somewhere in 75 satellites. But I'm telling what's really happening. In the 75 satellites, already some 3 or 4, whatever the launch, but you are able to repeat that. You can be part and parcel of that group, so that students themselves are trying to make a possible a communication network is theoretically possible now. So the 3 satellites already sitting there, and some more can go. It's reasonably cost effective. Under 2, 3 the colleges together, universities together, it can go. And towards that, good number of network globally has come, because they get network the college students together, and such that this satellite, whenever it plays over any one of the continent, and there they pick the signal and come back. So from wherever it is, signal comes to the your university, and you will able to monitor. So this infrastructure is already there. So now you know that recently ISRO has announced, and each launch almost free of cost for subsequent so many launches, to encourage more and more such efforts. Already ISRO announced that will give free of cost. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, you need not spend money for the launch cost point of view, and you need not spend too much money on the ground system point of view. But you have already a system, a model is available, blueprint is available. Is it possible for you repeat that, and with that experience, whatever experience they have, with that you can improvise and do that, and you can be part and parcel of that global network. So that will enable you yourself networking in a globally among the your own peers. One way. Another thing is, yes, you told the school level what you have done. Now you catch it up in a slightly better way. That's also possible. I think you can aim for that, because I think when we are going for that tomorrow, the local state government S&T minister also coming, and they are planning to come out this 2022. Is it possible to have 75 years of independence we are complete doing? Is it possible within India to make the 75 satellites by universities across India to make and do? There is some movement is happening towards that. There is a possibility government may also give some fund. Okay, putting together Bennett University also can make an attempt. Whether you can be part and parcel of that. So then the 75th independence that year concern. Now, originally we planned Gaganyaan. I think Gaganyaan now very distance. You cannot make it next year. That's not possible. But this one, I think there is a finite possibility if we start working today. By 2022, we can definitely do it, because already they have launched it and they have the blueprint available, and they repeating the satellite is not a tough job, and this can be possible. So I think one possibility exists. We can think about it.
Okay, sure, sir. This will be a very great opportunity to take into account, and I think being in the second year or in the middle of my engineering degree, I think this will
Yeah.
be something
Right.
quite a good
So-
accomplishment.
Sir, so like now that you have taken up a new post of Vice President of the Tamil Nadu State Council of Science and Technology, so like is your new post like, do you find more peace and tranquility in your new post in comparison to your previous post, where you yourself have mentioned that there were nail-biting moments? Even the moments were indeed fruitful, but those were pretty stressful moments, as you have mentioned. So you find some kind of peace and tranquility right now in your current position.
Okay, what you're telling is a pink and tranquility is not sitting idle, first and foremost, because sitting idle is going to be more torturous than being running. Okay, that is the fact. So that way, I think even now I'm engaging on my own way of because it gives visibility for me to interact with various college and university students within Tamil Nadu. So that enables me to take some of the newer projects. When not be, of course, as I told, the satellite are small. The same yes, some sort of consultation I do. Beyond that, why can't we do something new? Something new, for example, drone project, something I'm involving the Drone Corporation of Tamil Nadu to come basically not only just drone exercising and taking it to a slightly much bigger level. This enables me to interact with the government and students coming there. Then another thing is various places I told, banana fiber project, and that also has been taken to a reasonably good level. But to make that, we have to make good number of machines. You have to make that to happen. So towards that, I am working with triple TDM students, and that's also nail biting only, because before their coursework is over, I should get the things done. And towards that, the funding has come some time back. You told funding is not from government. Government, okay, but it's a private industry. So now we have accountability is much more. Okay, and definitely I have to deliver it there. And towards that, I think reasonably good stress or strain or running is there. So that as far as I am concerned, the tranquility and peace and tranquility is ensuring myself more as much better way engaged. Instead of just routine jobs, a slightly different way. For example, similarly, another institute, the hydrogen fuel-based systems. The system is starting from existing diesel generators, converting into a hydrogen-based generator, so that farmers we can go a hydrogen bottle, so their machine will run their diesel generator or motor will run with the hydrogen. So all the way coming to the two-wheeler or four-wheeler. So we are working that way. So that way, I think various different, I think beyond the space, back to in Earth. I think something I'm trying. So that way I'm engaging myself with a good number of student community.
And right now, also you're talking to us. It gave us a feeling of ecstasy to talk to such a man of your post, the Moon Man of India, as they call you. Talking to you, it was really a great experience, sir. And since we are here and at the closing of our talk, so we would like to thank you from our side for coming and talking with us and joining us for this session. I believe it was a great interaction session for the community to learn from. And we got to have a peek in your life, and it was great to have you, sir. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. It's more like a normal evening talk without much of a thing. And this also gives me another way of whatever you told, engaging myself in a way, because whatever said and done, you will come to know. You ask your grandpa or grandma, they will be more happy telling about the grandson is asking, what is your time? Okay, that is nothing better than that. You go and ask your grandpa. He will narrate. So you can see the joy in that. So probably that joy you gave to me today. I'm not telling you are a grandson, but you are equal to my grandson.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You're comparing me to your grandson. That's a privilege for me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The back and forth has got me so messed up. Don't ignore the signs. We've had enough of the whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing.